Hello everyone, welcome to the end of day wrap here on day one of the World Magic Cup. Rich Hagon alongside Pro Tour historian Brian David-Marshall. I've got irrelevant information, you've got relevant information, namely the top 32 teams that advanced. What a day we've had.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal. It's been, we've seen a lot of, powerhouse teams fall by the wayside. We saw USA get eliminated in the last round. We heard about Canada getting eliminated. Hungary, teams that we really expected. But you know what? There's some real big surprises at the top.
Yeah, there certainly are. So we have 32 teams coming back tomorrow in 8 pools of 4 teams. And basically, if you're on the same record as another team in the group, whoever has the highest seed coming in advances after 3 rounds. We're going back to Team Sealed, Battle for Zendikar, Team Sealed, 12 boosters, 3 decks. And then in the afternoon, what happens?
3 rounds of Team Unified Standard, same decks, in the same seats, but not necessarily the same pilot sitting in those seats.
Right, so they could switch their coach out.
Yes.
But again, all 4 members of the team must play tomorrow at some point.
Sure.
If you advance to the top 16.
If you advance to top 16, yeah.
All right, so why don't we get onto the board and walk you through then the 8 pools as they stand, because we've just unveiled them. Now's a chance to get a little look at them, a little closer look. So why don't we get to the board and have a look at our 8 pools. So let's see what we've got. Here's Pool A. Belarus, Sweden, New Zealand and Chile. The big standout story, the #1 overall seed, it's Belarus.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Belarus and Macedonia were pacing the field after 5 rounds. I don't, not someone you were expecting to be sitting at the top. You might expect a New Zealand with, a Platinum Pro, or Sweden with a Platinum Pro.
Jason Chung and Joe Larson. Belarus's entire lifetime Pro Tour experience is 8 matches and 1 match win.
Wow, so that's 1 and 7.
1 and 7 on day 1 of Khans of Tarkir, between the 4 of them.
Yeah.
And here they are, the #1 seed overall.
even the Chilean team, you got the former Rookie of the Year on the Chilean team, so there's a lot of experience hunting down Belarus here, chasing them down on day 2.
Yeah, but brilliant job by Belarus. Let's look at Pool B then. Next up, it's our 2 seed. That's Macedonia, Iceland, Denmark and Scotland, an all-European group. And again, Macedonia, amazing story.
I had a conversation with Martin Anik we did a little sideline interview after they had gone 5-0-1 and kind of knew they had locked up a top seed for the top 32. And he said, I don't believe anyone in this room has played more Magic than our team in advance of this tournament. He's like, that's all we've been doing. Felt really confident, really excited, and was very emotionally moved to be through to day 2. A big step for Macedonia, but there's something that stands out there to me, and that's Denmark.
Yep, absolutely. They're back, the defending champions. They're the 3 seed, so they may need 3-0 tomorrow, may need 2-1, we'll see. And Scotland make it in. Well done to the kilted team. Stephen Murray and the boys, Vaughan Swift amongst them. Great job. Pool C, who have we got? We've got Brazil, Thailand, Guatemala, Argentina, and that geographically is quite an interesting little group.
Yeah, a number of South American teams. The Thai team in a great spot in the second seed in the pool, but the thing that really stands out here is the tournament experience of Paulo Vitor Damarosa. His umpteen top 8s, a Hall of Famer, and someone who's been working with his young and experienced team took them to this sort of Magic camp with multiple Pro Tour champions and Hall of Famers and Player of the Year, and so just has them ready and raring to go. And, I think if I'm Thailand, Guatemala, or Argentina, I'm looking at Paulo like, okay, hopefully we don't have to play them with everything on the line.
Yes, we'd like to go 2-1, and if they're 3-0, that's okay, because that will advance me. Pool D then, here we go. It's the 4th overall seed heading them. This is Christian Seibold captaining Germany, then the super team of Japan. And this arguably is the best team on paper that is still in the tournament. Because they
might have been the best team on paper anyway, at the start of the tournament.
Right, but almost certainly now.
Yes.
They are so stacked. Kenji Samura, Ryoichi Tamada, of course you've got Yuya Watanabe, as the big 3 there. Mexico are comfortably through with Marcelino Freeman. And I know that you're very much paying attention to last year's beaten finalists, Greece.
Yeah, Bill Chronopoulos, was the captain last year. Fought his way onto the team this year at the WMCQ. Super excited for them. And they were in worse shape last year. They were in 32nd place. So looking forward to seeing them. And by the way, so Germany's team captain Christian Siebel, is it this very room?
This actual room. He won the Grand Prix in Barcelona with the two Greifensteiner brothers.
Yeah.
Yep, he has good memories of this room, just like Alexander Hayne does.
Better memories of this room maybe than Alexander Hayne has right now.
Sure, Canada, one of the big teams that did not make it through. Let's take a look at Pool E then, and we give you Austria, Singapore, Serbia, and Chinese Taipei, the first World Magic Cup champions.
Yeah, we talked about Denmark earlier, Chinese Taipei. I talked to Wang Hashan. He said 3 years ago he was home watching the World Magic Cup, and he's like, man, I'd like to do that. That's pretty exciting that Chinese Taipei won the World Magic Cup. You know what? I think I would like to be a top-level pro from Chinese Taipei. And it was really inspiring for him to come here. And, here they are, they get a little bit of work to do in their pool. They probably, need to 3-0 to guarantee themselves, advance to top 16. Yep. And Alexei Telerov of Team Serbia, we met him at the Mox earlier this year. Came in, did a deck tech with us for his Obzon Elves deck.
Right, okay. So Austria, the #1 seeds there. Pool F comes up next. It's the 6 overall. So you've got France, Poland, the Netherlands, and the Philippines. It's the #3 seed that stands out in that group.
Absolutely. Jelger Wiegersma, the Hall of Famer. Thomas Hendricks, the Pro Tour Top 8 competitor. Another thing that does stand out here for me, by the way, is we've already talked about the two of the 3 previous WMC winners. We talked about Denmark, we talked about Chinese Taipei. The other team that has won this tournament before is France. So all 3 teams that have won the World Magic Cup are in play to become the first 2-time World Magic Cup champion.
Yeah, and France in the best position of the 3.
The best position of the 3, absolutely.
A 1-3 and a...
Yeah, Pierre Dejean there. As the 6th seed.
All right, and well done to Maciej Janik, captain of the Polish team. They've done very well to be a 2 seed. What about Pool G then? Top seed will be the #7 overall. A real sort of mixed bag here. You just apparently have to end in Y. Paraguay, Turkey, Italy, and Australia have made it through. Italy, I guess they'll be pleased just to be through, but it looked like they were going to be pace setting and are just quietly in the mix, as it's turned out.
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you're below the halfway mark in your pool, you're going to be nervous. Again, we talk about it time and time again about seeding mattering. So, this is going to be a little upsetting, in terms of, okay, we've got to really work hard. But, again, this is a team with 2 powerhouse players in Marco Camerluzzi and Andrea Mengucci, and 2 young players. I've been calling them the 2-headed giant because they basically alternated being on and off, and they were kind of like playing together. It's like, okay, you guys focus on this match until one of us is done.
It's worth remembering also that a lot of these 3 seeds intentionally drew the last round, knowing that exactly this could happen and deciding that it was more important to be in for certain and not risk being part of the 4-3 heartbreak. So fair enough, but this is what happens. That was an intentional draw. That means a 3rd seed for Italy. What about Pool H, our last seed? Who was #8? It's Ukraine, Hong Kong, Latvia, with Andre Prost as the captain, and Malta. And what a terrific story Malta is.
Yeah, this is their first swing at the World Magic Cup. Malta has not been a team represented here before. They are through into day 2 with a 3-1-3 record.
Yeah.
I've never seen somebody so happy for 3 draws as the national champion from Malta.
Only 2 teams lost less than Malta today. Right? I mean, there was 5-0-2, 5-0-2 for Macedonia and Belarus.
And of course, Li Shitian, Hong Kong there, in great shape in this pool.
All right. So tomorrow we come back. Those 32 teams do battle within their pool. They play 1 against 2, 3 against 4, 1 against 3, 2 against 4, and finally top plays bottom, and the middle 2 go at it. That's the same both in the morning and the afternoon. We come back with Team Sealed. Then we move into Team Unified Standard. And if we're still standing after all that, 8 teams come back on Sunday, and we stick with Standard.
We are. We're going to stay with Team Unified Standard, and we're going to play. In a more traditional bracket, one will play 8, etc. Elimination of the teams. The teams will play again, best 2 of 3, best 2 of 3. But what's really important to note is in the past, we've done this as a part of Worlds Week, combined with the World Championship. Now those tournaments have been separated, let to stand on their own. And that means we have enough time on Sunday to show you quarterfinal 1, quarterfinal 2, quarterfinal 3, quarterfinal 4, have some lunch, semifinal 1, semifinal 2, and of course, the finals. So lots of magic coming your way on Sunday, lots of unified standard, and a potential 4th World Magic Cup champion, or possibly one of 3 chances to have a repeat World Magic Cup champion with Denmark, Chinese Taipei, and France all through into day 2 here.
USA, gone. Canada, gone. Macedonia and Belarus on top of the Magic world. How crazy is day 2 going to get? You know where to come to find out. For Rich Hagon, Brian David-Marshall, all the team here at Wizards of the Coast, we'll see you tomorrow.